Imagine your suffering.
Four, three, two, one.
Destruction! 3, 2, 1. Destruction! 3, 2, 1. Destruction! Burn in the fires of my torment! Hold still, pathetic mortal!
Four, three, two, one.
Pummel you to dust!
I need to get closer. Four, three, two, one.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment!
Four, three, two, one.
Will flatten you. Hold still.
It's too far away. Four, three, two, one.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment!
Four, three, two, one.
Stay where you are. Destruction! 3, 2, 1. Destruction! 3, 2, 1.
Four, three, two, one.
Four, three, two, one.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment!
I need to get closer.
Hold still! I will flatten you! Pain reigns upon you! Pummel you to dust!
Four, three, two,
Four,
two, one,
three.
one.
2, 1.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment! Flatten you!
It's too far away.
Cover you to dust! Hold still!
Four, four, three, three, two,
Four,
two, one,
three.
one.
2, 1.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment!
I'm out of range.
Flatten you! Smash you to pieces!
Four, four, three, three, two,
Four,
two, one,
three.
one.
2, 1.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment! Destruction!
3, 2, 1.
Destruction! Agony to come!
The echo of the guardian Egwin appears, just as she did in the cathedral.
I sealed each level of this temple so that no invader could descend into its depths. I never anticipated that the Legion would find another way to breach its dark heart. My protective wards now bar your way. Each seal can only be opened with one of the pillars of creation. Be warned, the demons will stop at nothing to prevent your advance. I can sense one of the Legion's masters working to reanimate the avatar of Sargaras. Should Kill Jaden infuse that husk with the Dark Titan's power, I do not know whether any force on this world can stop it.
Then we have no time to lose.
That I am right!
Heroes,
Break
the paths are open. Use the pillars of creation to bypass Egwin's wards.
Mental Mental anguish is the true weapon. Was it not the key to turning Raptors? It was the suffering I inflicted which... Hold! The mortals come. Goroth has failed again. Sooner than expected. But no matter. Our work begins.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How much can you withstand? No minds will break.
Beware.
I'm out of range.
Beware.
Run away, little girl! Run away.
I need to get closer.
Beware.
4,
Run away, little girl!
2, 1.
Beware.
It's too far away.
Too much to endure.
Beware.
Run away, little girl! Run away. Another broken body.
I need to get closer.
Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl! Run away.
Beware.
Too much to endure.
I'm out of range.
Too much to endure.
Beware.
Run away, little girl! Run away. Too delicate to survive. Too much to endure.
Beware.
Too delicate to survive.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girls! Run away. Too delicate to survive.
Beware.
Another broken body.
I need to target something first.
Greetings. Good luck, friend.
The Legion opened a portal that is spewing forth a swarm of foul imps. Champion, these tiny fiends must be eradicated.
That foul stench in the air means the Dreadstalker roams nearby. This vicious pet of the Legion must be...
Greetings. Safe travels.
Beware. Beware. Run away, little girl! Run away.
It's too far away.
Beware.
Four,
Run away, little girl!
2, 1.
I'm out of range.
Beware.
I need to be
Fragile. Run away, little girl! You're a mice. Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl! Run away. Beware. Too much to endure. Run away, little girl! You're a mice. Fragile mortal. Beware. Too much to endure.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girls! Run away. Another broken. Beware. Too delicate to survive. So weak a will. Beware.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Three, two, one.
Hello guys and welcome back to Fat Boss TV. Today we have another boss preview for you guys. From the Tomb of Sargaras, we have Demonic Inquisition.
Yes, this is a single phase encounter that you'll probably be doing second in the instance, and you'll be fighting two bosses and they have a shared health pool. And the idea behind this encounter is that throughout the fight you'll become more and more tormented, and you'll need to confess your sins by jumping into the cage on the back of one of the bosses. Yeah, it's a little bit strange.
Now before we jump into the boss, just keep in mind that this is a preview of the encounter. All the footage you see on screen right now is from the PTR, so the boss visuals and even the abilities may change before it is released, and expect a full guide as soon as Tomb of Sargaras hits live servers. Let's jump in, and let's talk about how the Torment works.
Now, Torment is shown through a bar that appears at the bottom of the screen. Once this bar reaches 100%, you'll gain a debuff called Unbearable Torment. This will make you deal less damage, do less healing, reduce your hit chance by an absolute ton, and increases all the damage you take by 90%, so you pretty much become useless when you have this on you. You'll be gaining Torment via the boss's abilities. Some of these are avoidable, but some of them aren't. We'll be going through these in a moment. The only way you can remove Torment from you is by using your extra action button. This will teleport you inside a new room and drop you down where you'll be fighting a tormented soul ad. This ad will just melee whoever has threat, and it will occasionally spawn a bunch of green swirly circles which deal damage to you if you stand within them. The main thing that you need to know about this ad is that as you deal damage to him, he'll be spawning these orbs. Picking up one of these orbs will remove around 35 torment from you, and once you reach 0 torment, you can reuse the extra action button, and this will return you back to the main encounter area. So the idea is that when you have high torment, you want to use the extra action button to go inside. You want to damage the ad, pick up its orbs to remove your torment, and then reuse the extra action button to return to the bosses.
So there are multiple ways of dealing with this torment mechanic. The one that we found the strongest was just to have a tank inside the entire time. There's nothing forcing him to come out, so even if he's at 0 torment, he can remain inside there, not press his extra action button, and just damage the ad while he keeps himself up. The ad doesn't hit very hard, so you don't need a healer in there, but if you wanted to spawn even more orbs, even faster, you could have some extra DPS in there if you wanted as well, and just make it so they never leave as well. And then as soon as someone does get high torment, they press the button, they pick up the orbs that you've already pre-spawned, and then they can just instantly leave afterwards. The only small problem with this strategy is that the tank on the outside eventually will need to go inside, because otherwise he's going to reach 100% torment. But this is easily fixed by just simply having everyone that's inside leave, and then go back in once the new tank has gone inside, just to prevent them from tanking the ad, otherwise you're just going to get one shot. Or instead, you can just 3-tank the encounter and just have one tank inside the entire time. We actually really like the 3-tank strat. Whether or not it'll work on live servers, I guess we'll have to find out. But let's move on and let's talk about how you actually get Torment and how the bosses work. First to know is that Atragan generally needs to be faced away from your raid, and this is the guy with all the tank-centric abilities, which generate a large amount of Torment. He has a frontal cleave called Scythe Sweep, which deals a huge amount of physical damage to everyone in front of him, which also applies 20 Torment, so when he casts this, you need to make sure he's faced away from the raid. And he also has a passive called Bone Scythe. This causes all of his melee attacks to also apply 2 Torment to the tank. And these are the 2 abilities that will force your tank to go inside. And again, when your tank is about to go inside, you need to make sure the other tank is present in order to pick up the boss so it doesn't randomly just go off and hit a DPS. Now on a timer, he'll also cast Calcified Quills. What he'll do is he'll target a player and just send a shockwave towards them that will do a huge amount of damage and also knock them up into the air. Fortunately, this ability almost always targets the tank, so as long as no one else is stood on top of the tank, it's absolutely fine. However, occasionally it will go out of range, but the majority of the time you're spread anyway, because the ability's from the other boss. So as long as it only hits one player and they're topped, it's not a big deal. And Artagan's signature ability is Bonesaw. When he casts this, he'll just spin around, dealing a large amount of damage and applying torment to anyone nearby within the animation of the spell. His movement speed at this point is severely reduced, So this does actually allow your tank just to kite him around, and everyone can completely avoid the damage. However, if anyone attacks Atragan during the Bone Storm, they'll actually gain a substantial amount of Torment. So at this point, as soon as the boss casts the ability, make sure all of your DPS swap and attack Belak instead. Any dots that you have left on Atragan don't appear to apply any Torment, however cleave effects such as Barrage or Swipe will give you Torment. So because of this, the kiting tank, make sure you're kiting the boss in the opposite direction, not towards Belak.
Speaking of Belak, let's jump in and talk about him. Now, he has multiple mechanics that the entire raid needs to deal with. He also cannot be moved, and he does not need to be tanked. Now, you'll need to have an interrupt rotation for him to deal with his pangs of guilt. This will not apply any torment to anyone, but it will do a huge burst of damage to the entire raid. This going off, combined with some of his other abilities, can easily insta-kill a player. So generally speaking, you want to have a 3-player interrupt rotation. This is normally enough to cover every single cast. However, all players are likely to need to go inside to drop their torment at one point or another during the fight, and when you are inside the cage, you are out of range of Belak and you cannot interrupt him. So you need to make sure that if any of your interrupters do go down, you have some backups available to make sure this ability does not go off. Now, ranged players need to be spread for his Suffocating Dark ability. This will immediately place a Void Zone on 3 ranged players, and these Void Zones will slow you, deal a large amount of ticking damage to you, and also apply 8 Torment to you every second. So you need to move out of these immediately just to reduce the amount of damage and torment that you're taking, but you also want to avoid standing near the entrance of the room. This is because players leaving the torment cage always spawn on a single spot at the entrance of the room, and you do not want them to land straight into a void zone. Being spread also helps deal with the Echoing Anguish. This is a debuff which deals ticking damage and applies 2 torment every second for 12 seconds. When this times out or it is dispelled, the debuff will explode, dealing a large amount of damage and applying 10 torment to anyone within 8 yards. So you need to make sure that when you have the debuff on you, you move away and then you get dispelled. This can also target melee players, so you can't just be tunneling into the boss the entire time. You need to keep an eye out on your debuffs. Now, you do need to be careful when you are going to dispel this debuff because it may...
Le Mans is a car race like no other.
It's a brutal race. We do the whole Formula One season in one day.
First, you have to survive the race before you come in first.
I don't think we're competing against the others. We're competing against the race.
You need to keep fighting and just never giving up on the dream.
When you're racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after is just waiting.
Debuffs. Now, you do need to be careful when you are going to dispel this debuff because it may happen roughly around the same time as a Tormenting Burst. This is a cast that will just do a flat burst amount of damage to the entire raid, and it also applies 8 torment to everyone. This is completely unavoidable, you can't interrupt it or anything, and of course if you combo this with any other sources of damage, it can easily be lethal. And this is one of the reasons that everyone has to go in eventually, because this is one of the unavoidable sources of torment that you'll be gaining. Now, much like Atragan, on a lengthy timer, the boss will be casting Fell Squall. This ability functions pretty much the same way as Atragan's Bonesaw. Belak will just be dealing ticking damage and applying torment to anyone nearby, and if you attack him during this time, you'll be gaining additional torment. So you want all DPS to switch over to Atragan before this ability comes in, just to make sure you don't get any additional torment. As soon as the Fell Squall is over, you need to make sure that you have your interrupters ready to switch back to Belak to make sure that none of the pangs of guilt go through. So that's the fight. So let's leave some feedback. Overall, I do like the idea of the fight, like the whole idea of torment. It kind of changes how every single pull is going to be because the torment's kind of applied somewhat randomly across your raid.
Yeah.
So you can't just say, oh, okay, these 3 people are going in first and then these people are going in afterwards, because it's going to change every single pull. It's kind of like Mythic Knife Ender a little bit. So it kind of keeps the fight fresh while you're kind of progressing on it.
Sure.
But the one thing I did definitely find while I was playing through it was that the cage is just very dull. Nothing really happens in the cage.
Yeah, so there's not really much that can really kill you inside the cage as long as there's the tank actually tanking the ad. There's nothing else to do apart from damage it and just spawn orbs while avoiding the little circles that appear on the ground that don't really do anything anyway. I think they really should change how the inside works before it does hit live servers. I guess it could be pretty interesting if you maybe had like a stacking dot inside there, which, you know, eventually gets to the stage where it just flat out one-shots you, so you can't have people in there the entire time. I think that could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it would definitely change how you do the fight, because right now you just leave the tank in there and then it's like, oh, I have torment. Jump in, gather the tank orbs, and then just leave again, and that poor tank is just in there the entire time. Whereas if the tank had to leave more frequently, then you'd have to be sending in groups of people. So you'd have to send the one tank, one healer, and a couple of high torment DPS. So that way, once again, you're having to make groups on the fly when you're going through the encounter. And I think that's probably the intended way of doing the fight, but right now you can completely cheese it. But moving away from the cage for a second, with the bosses on the outside, although they do have quite a few abilities, none of them are really that exciting. Like, normally with bosses, you have like 1 or 2 abilities that maybe interact with each other, or the abilities are really cool and impactful, and you have to, you know, really work around them. Whereas with this fight, it seems more like, you know, they have like 8 or 9 abilities that are kind of just there, rather than maybe 4 or 5 good abilities.
I mean, there are some abilities that are, you know, are devastating. As an example, if you miss an interrupt and then the boss does his AoE on top of that, that is pretty much going to wipe your entire raids. You know, that's something to watch out for. But there is definitely no signature ability. Just making it so you need to have a solid interrupt rotation does not make a boss fun. And the signature abilities, if you're going to call them that in this encounter, is probably going to be what the Fell Skull and the Bone Saw.
Yeah.
They're the ones that have the longest timer and look like they have the most impact. Where in reality, all you need to do is just stop attacking them and make sure you're not in melee range. That doesn't really seem like, you know, abilities that really stand out. And instead, maybe it would be better if they, like, maybe trimmed down the amount of abilities and just made them a little bit more impactful. Kind of like Goroth, you know? With Goroth, he has very few spells, but everything that he does is important. With these bosses, it's not really so much the case. It's just be spread, dispel, make sure you interrupt, go inside when you have high torment, make sure that you always have a tank on the outside. That's it.
Yeah, 100%, but I don't really think it's the boss's fault necessarily, more that it's kind of where the boss is placed within the instance, because it's only, like, you're going to be killing this second or third. They can't make a boss too difficult. It's like they made this boss for a later part of the instance and then realized, oh crap, it's actually supposed to be for an earlier part, so they kind of just trim down on how vicious the abilities are or how impactful they are. Because, of course, an early boss shouldn't be difficult. I'm not saying that. But this boss seems to have so much potential. And when it isn't realizing its potential like it is right now, it's definitely there is something missing. And I think you're right. I think something in the cage needs to be like more of an important factor. And you shouldn't just be able to cheese it.
With all of that said, I mean, we're being maybe a little bit too negative.
Yeah, we probably are.
It's not a terrible boss. It
No.
really isn't a terrible boss. Everything seems to be working exactly how they wanted it to work. And, you know, you can't just be done with it. You can't just pull the boss and you're instantly going to kill it. You do need to be careful. There's a lot of room to min-max, you know, exactly where you put in the void zones. There's a lot of master spell strategies you could do with those debuffs, as well as trying to make sure that you have high uptime on both bosses by putting them close together so you can maximize the amount of cleave without actually dealing damage to them during Fell Skull and the Bone Storm.
Yeah.
And to add on top of that, all the other abilities that are in play do come in frequently. So it's not like you're standing there scratching your balls waiting for something to happen. There is shit that is actually going on. And to add to that, the fight is taking a slightly different tone on Mythic, because each time you do leave the cage, you'll actually spawn an ad, and you need to kite it around, otherwise it just goes around and one-shots people. And this spawns every single time someone leaves. So although on normal and heroic and an LFR or whatever, you can go in there as many times as you want, on Mythic, it's something that you will actually need to min-max.
Yeah, you want to really minimize the amount of time you want to go in the cage. And maybe that's something maybe the fight needs. Maybe we're kind of looking at it from a Mythic point of view, and it's probably fine how it is. But yeah, I think that addition to it should definitely make it a bit more challenging and a bit more fun overall.
But anyway, guys, that's all we got time for in this video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this little preview,
Evening, fellas.
Just finished the quest. I'm there now.
Evening,
Who's the
fellas.
third? You, Anya. Okay, I thought me and Kosh was the first two. Who's the third? Me. You never have any DKP.
What are you talking about? Go and look up the amount earned.
Evening.
Hello.
How's everyone tonight?
Deleted like
thank you
3,000 DKP or something horrendous.
Is one back?
Sorry? Yes,
Welcome
today
back.
I am. Thank you.
Oh, Moon, sorry.
So I've sneaked into Tomb of Sargaras on my shaman. Got first 2 bosses.
Okay. Okay.
Seems not hard, but couldn't manage to reach the 3rd boss because of the read times.
Okay, so you're raid leading the first 2 bosses then?
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna give hints. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Which character did you do it on?
On beeps.
It's chamois.
Okay. Don't forget, go get your seals.
I did. I got the bottle, I got everything sorted. Not the vodka bottle, Jen. Don't get me wrong.
Nobody touches Jen's vodka.
Yeah, I'm just
What
saying.
bottle?
Yeah.
What bottle have
Sorry,
you got?
cask, Jen. Cask. Vodka, sorry.
Everyone,
Oh yeah, have you seen that?
Only one?
everyone. Yeah, it's a legendary bottle. It's a legendary.
Jen has an intravenous drip.
Jen probably gonna keep thinking about this quest. Bottle quest.
It's too hot to drink alcohol.
I always use AC though.
You can always come to Sweden. It's not hot here, trust me.
Really? Oh my god, it's unbearable here.
Right, moving to Sweden as in half an hour.
Yeah, it's yesterday it was 11 degrees and windy and rainy. Today it's actually a little bit warmer. Today it was actually 15.
Thank you. But you usually share weather with you, and it's been unbearable here.
Right, if anyone wants it or haven't been able to get hold of it because one of the weak horror websites is down, I've just posted a paste bin of the Tim Sargaras weak horrors if anyone's interested in normal general chat on Discord.
It was working a half hour ago, so...
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, mine was as well.
What are we talking about?
Nah, the new week hours, yeah. The site.
Sorry, cousin?
The site where you get the week hours from.
I did mine with, thingy.
Grabbing a drink.
Twitch.
So you got a new one? Do you got for the new rate?
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
By the way, what bottle was this you were talking about a few minutes ago?
It's the legendary quest to upgrade your legendary item to a 970.
Nope, I forgot about that entirely.
Well,
You get that from the blacksmith guy.
Yep, I was hoping so because I'm just going straight there now.
Yeah, and I got it actually from the chest, the weekly chest, on my first character, and on the shaman and the mage. Shaman I got it from the raids. The mage I think I got it from those chests you get when you donate.
Emissary ones?
No, when you donate the supplies.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think they made the drop chance huge. Drops probably from any quest you can do.
Cousin, where did that quest come from? Did you answer me?
Blacksmith.
The same one, the previous one you've got.
That's the
Also, it's never too hot to drink alcohol.
Jen will agree with that entirely.
You just switch kind of alcohol you're drinking.
Well, beefs is normal, it shouldn't be needing 3 tanks.
no, I meant about the other one they suggested. In normal difficulty, I mean.
I'm back.
What's it called?
Give all your gold to Moon.
Oh, you give me all your gold? Moon, you're a wonderful ass.
You can do that with 1 tank, Beach.
I knew you cared.
Good evening.
Good
Hello.
Oh,
Then
bugger.
you just get
It's here.
tank out and the other one jumps in.
Evening crit. Yeah, that's about timing. That's what I'm worried about.
Because it's QQ.
No, it's tight. That's what I meant. I expected something harder than this, to be honest. Maybe because it's just normal difficulty now, but who knows.
How many bosses did you do?
2 only.
Okay.
2 bosses? Don't start for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, Kurt, you were too late.
Kurt feels cheated.
No, I was on my
The
outs.
calendar says 20 minutes.
I was on my outs. Calm down. We didn't.
But Kurt, isn't that on in group with everything ready to raid by 20 past?
Right, I've still got 5 minutes. I'm ready. Let's go.
We didn't leave you behind, Kurt. Don't worry. Shall we get inside, Cuz, or?
Yep. Come along, James. Don't stand there.
No, I'm away.
Why can I not see Cousin online?
Foul stench in the air means the
Well, he's definitely here.
nearby. This vicious pet of the
So this is Tomb Sargaras.
Yeah, and do you see the infernal that stands way back? Because I missed that on my shaman. There will be a quest giver which will spawn there.
I did a reload, Kurt.
That'll explain it.
Moon, how did you manage to get this quest completed? I was looking for the guy on the shore forever.
Yeah, it took ages. Absolutely ages to get it. And I was realm hopping and doing all weird kinds of stuff to get it.
Remember the time that you found him at? Because I don't know. I couldn't find him. Just
He pairs with some other guys, so if you, I think I saw it on Wowhead that if some kind of ad is up, then you can kill them.
okay. I'll look into that. Thanks.
So just to remind everybody that we are going to be using personal loot and for this raid only. And next kind of, set will be using Master Looter just so that we can maximize the amount of gear that we can use, in case people get duplicates and then they can trade them to other people. And once we go heroic, then we'll start using DKP. Obviously, you'll earn DKP as we're going through the raid.
Ali will be here soon. He fell asleep.
Okay.
Woke him up.
We are assuming that everybody has looked at least the first few bosses, either read something, watched something, had an actual practice, or all of the above. So, Cousin will be leading, but he's not going to give us I'll say blow by blow and hope nobody picks up on it.
Hello,
blow by
guys.
blow account of, what we have to do. So, if you haven't done that, then I suggest you have a look between bosses.
I actually didn't look on it, Fairfax.
No problems at all, buddy. It's just a really brief version of the fights. And when I say brief, I mean really brief.
I agree.
So it says isolate tank with big circle, taunt swap at debuff. Everyone else move green squirrels away from pillars, move big arrow into pillars, and hide behind pillars for infernal burning. That's what it says.
Shouldn't have said that. You could have kept the people not standing behind the pillar.
Well, Jen will be the one on top of the pillars.
Yeah, exactly.
Low. Like that.
Can I add one thing? Just one
Yep,
tiny
of course.
thing. Whoever gets a debuff called comic something, he cannot run behind the pillar because it will destroy the pillar. And we won't have pillars up by the time when the boss casts the AoE spell, then we will wipe. So just run away from
Isn't
and the pillar.
isn't that the big ball?
2, 1.
I don't know if it's a big ball or not, Jen. I know it's a spell. It's called something comic, and it leaves a debuff on you, which takes every 2 seconds.
Crashing comet.
Yeah, that's the one.
I thought you had to run it through some, but not all.
No, that one is Shattering Star.
Oh, okay.
So, that big guy to the left is not trash.
That's the boss.
Yeah, I figured that one.
I really wish I'd been in that raid when you did that.
I just
Maybe-
plugged it fast to have, first look.
Did you accidentally took the boss for a trash?
The dragons, yeah.
Yeah. So I give it away, the DBM warning. You have engaged. You have...
Yeah.
Go, K-Torn.
Oh.
Just go
Hello.
quickly and we'll get you back.
Guys, really fast. I promise.
Look, a sleeping beauty woke up from his slumber.
Anybody else not got their seals, please go and do it now. We have been reminding you. Some of you need personal assistance by the sound of it.
Some of people need coffee.
I have coffee now.
Need is left.
I'm guessing we won't have the fire on normal beefs or what?
Say what?
But I
The
need...
fire?
No.
Okay.
It's so
What
simple.
you need is get your freaking ass here into the tomb.
Breaking, do me a favor.
DC as
No.
well. Can we get some food while we're waiting?
Yeah. Two seconds, somebody at my door.
1, 2, 3.
What a delivery.
Beefs, you don't have to whisper me the tactics.
Okay.
It's probably Jen's alcohol delivery.
Yeah, vodka delivery.
Right, let's take that one there.
At least she took care of that. Not like you with lack of coffee.
Ugh, hate coffee.
Brie, coffee does not help me not fall asleep. Learn.
I agree with
Coffee's juice for me.
Go for stronger stuff. Go for espresso.
No kind of caffeine. Started drinking it way too early when I was a kid, so.
Ah, there he is.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Welcome back.
No, Bulletin, you can't go.
He needs to. He needs to check his shit to see if the share price of vodka have just spiked.
Aw, my little tripper.
Oh,
Aw.
don't you lot start talking to me. I get enough.
Aw. Kissy, 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 kissy.
Trip, shut up. Look. Yeah, cat treats. Come on. Yeah, he's crying, so I'm giving him cat treats to shut him up. I know that is backwards. It just means he'll do it more.
Feed him your miserable shit.
Yeah, but don't teach him that bell Matt linked on Facebook. Bing, bing.
That was good. Come on, that was impressive.
Oh, God. Beeves.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep. She's been hit.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment!
One more thing. Sorry, I didn't mention that. When the boss at or near 30% HP, he will target one player with an arrow. That player needs to run behind the pillar.
Well, then you was in a group with very high DPS because we already had that one.
3,
I didn't see it.
1.
Smash you to pieces!
Not this arrow. Not this arrow, cousin, if that's the one you mean. Ah, this one, yeah. You're right.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment! Hold still!
4, 3, 2, 1.
Four, three, two, one.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment!
No!
Another foe felled.
What the kid said.
Stay where you are. Easily broken.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Smash you to pieces.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Why do you destroy the pillar?
4, 3,
Get ready
2,
to hide.
1.
Destruction! Burn the fires of my torment! Pummel you to dust! Agony to come!
Should have picked up the quest because now you have to go deliver the quest.
That's...
Quest? What quest?
Don't you want to upgrade your legendaries?
Oh my god, I got the clock twice. No, anyone needs it.
Which one?
This one. And I got both of same quality.
I sealed each level of this temple so that no invader could descend into its depths.
Make a portal to Dalaran so they can go deliver the quest.
Portal near the NPC.
It is an upgrade, but I won't put it on because I've got a set piece on at the moment.
Well, I don't need it if you want it, otherwise I'll disenchant it. It's okay, come. Whoever needs it, trade me please.
Where are you?
Near the NPC, which gives the quest.
One of the Legion's masters working to reanimate the
If you got that one,
avatar
go
sargaras.
deliver it.
Should kill Jaden infuse that husk with the Dark Titan's power. I do not know whether any force on this world can stop it.
Then we have no time to lose.
See, I didn't get spoiled, Sample.
No, me neither. I blame Jen.
Oops, I pulled trash.
But if you already got it, then you started the quest?
Oh yes, I have.
Yeah, then of course you won't get this up.
But did you get any of these?
Yes, I got 3 of those.
Well, then you don't need that quest item.
Oh, okay.
Come sit and watch me. Come watch with me. Yalla sit. I don't have soda.
Is this an archaeology quest?
Jenks, don't you want to go deliver the quest?
No, it's the one to skip buses. Oh.
Katon and Jen?
I'm in Dalaran doing it now.
But did you say you did get those essence?
No, I've just picked up unsettled power. Just. Yeah. Oh, it says I've got 5.
Then you are getting it.
Jen, incentive, Nina just got the oil sample.
Yeah, but it seems like they do get the essence anyway. It just sends them where they have to deliver them.
Okay.
I accidentally clicked the portal. Could I get some pictures?
Anya, don't click the shiny things.
Don't put them in the middle of the raid.
I had to because people
Anya,
needed to go to Dalaran.
You're so brave, Anya, to admit to that. There's lots of people who would not have admitted they'd done that. Could I get a summon back, please?
Do you mean they listened to Khadgar?
Well, summon back, I already threw back.
Well, alright then, I'll fly.
Well, then I don't want to waste my time, so.
Thank you, cousin.
So Jen gets a summon back, but I don't?
Yep.
It's because we like Jen more.
See?
I knew that.
I already knew that, Anya.
But I summoned Nina before Jen.
Oh, really?
It's because I'm here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, and a lock. You know, it's like locks sticking together, isn't it?
Well, Anya is a lock.
Exactly. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but she's a girl lock.
True.
I'm here,
Time
Beebs.
warp on this one, Beebs.
Hey, what?
Go. Pop time warp.
Okay.
Jenks needs to summon.
I
did
just
summon
summoned them as well.
Oh, okay.
Admit that I am right. Break the bond, and the spirit
Isn't the roomiest raid, is it? This kind of small rooms for it?
Say that out loud. Blizzard will hear you and add trash galore to this place.
Yeah, but consider it was like a half a county, the other one, and this one is kind of like a wardrobe.
They'll do a dragon soul to us, Anya. Sorry, Annie. They will do a dragon soul to us.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it is a tomb. They're usually not all that big.
Oh, they they don't need a dance floor. That's true.
Take the boss outside incentive.
This is when we find out they fixed that.
Beware. Since an hour ago.
Yeah, hotfix patches.
This is the one where you have to use the extra button to
confess.
Yeah.
But only do that when the other one's taunted off you.
Skull doesn't move. It's only the other
So
one.
keep them together, start, pop, time warp, and cleave as much as you can until you have to separate them.
Yeah, through Bonesaw.
Who will be the interrupters?
Yeah, Skull needs to be interrupted.
Yeah, I had to turn him up last night early.
Don't know why.
So have we got to assign interrupters, and are we deciding who's going downstairs?
You
Or
have to
wherever
go
it is.
Oh, we cannot-
downstairs when you cannot assign who goes downstairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Afraid.
You send one tank and one DPS downstairs.
Yeah.
When the tanks upstairs are about to get full, the two people inside gets out, so the tank outside can get in, and then that DPS can go back in again. And do not pick up the orbs down there, the tank and DPS.
Wasn't it theoretically that we could use 3 tanks on this?
Why would we want 2 tanks up here?
So that they can taunt up here and get the debuff, let the debuff drop up here.
Shouldn't be needed, should it?
No. I mean, it's kind of cheating anyway. Well, I mean, we're still really cheating, but...
Yeah, I hope people know they have to pick up the balls inside to make their debuff drop.
Yeah, so what people are supposed to do is when their debuff gets too high and they're, about to explode or whatever they do, they say, I'm going down, and you'll go down, pick up the balls that are around there, and then come back out as soon as your bar is empty again. But the DPS and the tank, the one DPS and the one tank that are down there, stay down there. They don't pick up the balls or do anything. They just attack the boss or whatever ad it is.
Or you can get full so you can get out, but don't use it until it's called for.
And it's only the tank and the DPS that are in there all the time only swap when the tank outside needs to go down.
The balls, are they dependent on DPS or just attacks?
Just attacks, I think. I don't think it makes a difference how much you DPS it.
You want to do that, Anya?
Sure.
But you need to let the tank go in first.
Okay. So you stay in there, Anya, all right? And you don't soak up the balls.
I know.
I think she, from start, she can fill it up, so when she needs to get out, she can get out. So both need to do that.
So who's the tank? And how will I know if he's down?
You'll see him.
Who goes down? Soul and Center?
It doesn't matter, guys. You're all gonna, take a turn at it. So flip a coin. Just volunteer.
I'll go down first.
Thank you, Incentive. Okay, so Incentive and Anya down.
So that means I take the boss first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go read the post on the forum so you know what to do. Read what your role has to do.
Yeah, I've got it next to me.
So how do we get down there, by the way? Is
the
there
extra
like
action button.
Oh, right.
And
Before
even,
you fill up completely.
Even if you fill up down there, Anya, don't worry, you will not get kicked out. You have to use the action button
you
again.
don't get the corruption down there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, even if you want to get out, it's not by just filling the bar. You have to actually press the extra action button again.
And interrupters?
I volunteer, but we need 2 more.
I've got an interrupt that I could use as well.
Well, I would say Ellie and DC. And Beast.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be third then.
DC, did you hear that?
It depends. Ellie, was you enhancement?
He's saying he can. So
Yeah,
should we go? Should we go Ellie, DC, and?
No, I said Ellie because I thought he was elemental.
Well, the melee will be on Skull, won't they?
No, they will be on the one we had to attack.
Well, isn't it the same
Don't
for...
they share?
When-
share?
Yeah, but when the skull do the ability, you can't attack it. You have to do the other. And when the X are doing the thing, you have to DPS the skull.
Yeah, so during Bonesaw, don't attack Atrigan, only Belak. And through Fell Squall, avoid attacking Belak, switch to Atrigan.
And did everybody see what Buns typed?
Yeah, 8 yards, by the way.
And Moon and Farfax help on interrupt.
Yep.
Yep.
Already planning it.
Well, let's see how this boss works.
Give me 5 seconds before the timer. Door.
You know that Farfax? The name?
What do you mean?
The name of the interrupt skill thing.
Something wins at us.
Balak does it.
Pangs of guilt.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Uh-oh, my mouse has just stopped. Ah, that's right, it's back.
We all know when to stop DPSing and when to switch, right?
Full
5,
cleave on
4,
skull.
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
And time
Can we have James or Cousin telling us when we should be swapping? Just, you know, to get us into the swing of it.
Beware.
Well, you're starting to get tournament if you keep DPSing.
Pangs of Anguish, interrupt. Or guilt even.
Got it.
Keep it interrupted. Cool.
Run away, little girl.
Okay, stop DPSing the caster.
All those balls don't stay up very long.
Beware.
Four, three,
Switch again.
1.
What happened there?
Pangs of guilt. Start the interrupts, people.
Beware.
What happened, so?
The cleave damage on Atrican killed me.
Beware.
Haven't got a timer for this boss when he's going to switch. His... There it is. Switch. I've got to go down and get my stacks.
So are you getting all the information with the week hour you linked?
Beware.
No. It's not popping up most of it.
4,
I'm missing
3,
some as well.
2, 1.
Run away, little girl.
Well, I'm getting a debuff in here. I have to come out.
They may have changed it from the PTR.
Yeah, it was on like 18 stacks or something like that.
But did you see a tournament, Soul? Was it high?
Mine? No, I'm on 0.
I have a soul stone. Don't release.
My bar wasn't there even for some reason.
Well, I can now report the epic reason why I can't see any timers for DBM. Tomb of Sargaras is not ticked.
Stop
enabled. Do. Ray me?
You really are more special than I thought.
Thank you. You care.
And we thought Kurt was the only special one here.
No, Kurt's the only special needs here.
How much does it hit for down there, incentive?
I wasn't looking at that. Let me check. Was soul corruption.
Anyone?
35,700 shadow damage per second. And I had like 18 stacks, so about 700k per second.
You cannot command me.
Yeah, just go now, Jen.
Alright, be right back.
You probably get scalped by the boss.
So what are we doing about the downstairs thing?
Trying again.
Same thing? So I jump up when I have like 5 stacks or something?
I got in sooner. You can't go in if you don't have a stack, so.
Yeah, so stay away from purple.
I'd say move Atrigan away from Belak as well, when Belak's doing his fell scroll.
You can't risk the overlap of tagging them both. So definitely.
But in sense it will work if you, when you get to high stacks, you come out and Soul go in. You come out, town the boss and Soul go in.
Yeah, I think I go to 10 stacks or something like that.
Yeah, but you have to tell Anya to go out first.
Yeah, I think I will get out about 5 or something, otherwise I'm dead.
Because Yard's got to be tank beefs.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Oh, so they changed it.
No, according to other videos I've watched, and that's from the PTR and including a few live ones, Yard's got to be tanked.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because how it went out with the tanks now, everyone who was inside the cage gone out, tanks switched, and then the tank with the high torment went back down, or because from what I saw, it's one of the tactics.
Yeah, I think the basic tactic is the tank that's got to be tanking in the prison, as well as if you're putting a GPS in. They take a few stacks of torment first, then go in.
But
when it comes to tank swap, all the DPS that are in there need to come out. The tank comes out, then the tank with the high torment then goes in. Then everybody else has got high torment jumps in as well.
Because what killed us is the time when the one tank was going out and one tank going in.
Yeah, the
because they switched on DPSers then.
Yeah, the tank was dead and I was still inside, so.
Yes, and his melee hits for 10 million a pop.
Can't you guys take that?
Not when I'm in DPS spec, no.
can't just go in randomly. Because if DPSs go in without tank,
Yeah, tank should always be in there, so when we'll swap.
It's
Yeah.
not set that... Oh,
it changed the beats apparently. If that was the case, why did the incentive take so much damage then? They must have changed it.
It depends on the
They
builds.
did. You get a stacking debuff down there.
Yeah, I gotta stack him debuff.
Okay.
So it wouldn't help to have 3 tanks.
Huh? DK. Is it a magic debuff? Can it be dispelled or something? Or it just can't be removed? If anyone noticed?
I figure it will disappear when you get out.
Yeah, but is it a magic debuff? Is it dispellable?
Don't know.
So
Ah, there
about
we go.
60k per second.
Well, yeah. Apparently they did that to prevent people from staying there the whole fight. So we do it the normal way and get in only when, and I mean get in and get out.
Yeah, I was just thinking what we're doing if the tanks are swapping around all the time and people are going in randomly.
Well, I think our tanks are vocal enough to say when they are going out.
And we'll have problems with interrupting order as well.
Yeah, but let's say I go in now and you then call that you needed to go out. If I have to get the balls before I can go out, I will die.
You can't go. You can go out when you still got low. When you still get stacks. So just go out and then back in again. I don't know if there is a cooldown on your extra button, but we'll have to check.
There shouldn't be, because if you stay in the void zone, the one that we drop, you're gonna get stacks super fast, as well as on Balik AoE ability.
Jenna's back.
Say what, cuz?
I just said Jen is back.
Sorry, guys.
But let's try again and let's try have tanks swap. So talk to Gal.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spell beefs, please.
Beware.
Okay, squad in 8 seconds. Switch now.
8 yards, people.
And put him away.
Beware.
Electric away.
Stop attacking Balik.
Beware.
I am quite high on...
Bonesaw incoming. Switch boss now.
Going out then.
I'm out.
The boss. Try and tank the boss around the very edge of the room.
Away from it.
Beware.
People over 50 go inside.
Keep the interrupts going.
I am very high now.
Okay, switch boss again.
I'm dead.
Beware. Run away, little girl. Run away.
Okay, I'm going downstairs to get rid of my stacks.
Beware.
Let me know when you want me to come out incentive. I'm on 9 at the
4,
moment.
3,
Someone pick
2, 1.
Come out.
my turn on interrupt.
Coming out.
Coming out.
Alright, kiting him round the edge.
Come in.
Beware.
Felt school in 9, so I'm separating him.
I'm going down.
Felt school, come on, Atrigan.
Back out.
I'm going down.
I'm gonna need to come
Coming
down.
out.
Beware.
Going out. If anything
Seems
else-
like you only have to pick up one
Switch
ball.
again,
Go out
people.
again.
Switch boss again.
1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Hmm?
Beware.
Keep that pangs interrupted, people.
I'm inside.
Most of interrupters are done though.
Yeah.
Going out.
I'm on cooldown, so
Okay, and switch boss again now.
Do you need to come down incentive?
Beware. Run away, little girl.
You have to come up first, so...
Yeah, I said, do you need to come down?
Okay.
Don't you have that DBM box that tells you how high I am?
It doesn't show you on the tour.
Beware.
And switch boss again.
2.
I have to come out.
Run away, little girl.
Make sure you keep the interruptions going when you get back out, guys.
Alright, tanking him around the outside.
going down.
Beware. That one's mine. Get out. Beware.
And switching boss now, people.
Splitting him up.
Cross or?
She'll be on cross.
Yeah, cross now. Oh, I'm gonna need to come out and you need Atrigan incentive.
Going out.
And switch back to
Them off.
Balak again. Back onto the skull, people.
3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
I need to go down.
Same.
I'm dead.
Beware.
This boss is getting the hang of it.
Does everybody have to have this little box that tells you how much torment people have?
I have.
It only tells me the people that are near me, well, that are with me right at this moment in time.
Right.
Beware.
Yeah. Only in the same room.
Yeah, that's why I can't tell what incentives are.
If I'm inside, I'm on 0.
No, so when I'm in
Beware.
that room with that other
4,
boss,
3,
I can't tell
2.
how much torment you've got incentive. That's why I asked, did you
Yeah.
need to come down?
I can see yours, so... Don't know why that is. Do you use another thing than DBM?
Well, yeah, I'm using bigwigs.
Well, let's know what I died from. Tormenting Burst and Bone Salt. one is Tormenting Burst?
I have problems remembering which ability you need to stop DPSing. The one up.
Bone Saw is one of them, and Fell Squall is the other.
Yeah,
Fell Squall and Belloc and Bone Saw.
Problem is which belongs to which.
Bone Saw is the one with the big spear.
Okay.
Going in and he does a whirlwind like a warrior. That's Bone
Because
Saw.
I came out of purple. So.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yep. Same for me.
So now
Okay.
I put a green as well.
Okay.
Soul, will it help if you get Froden to be tank? So you get one in. When one of you are too high, you go in and the other tank jumps out. And then keep the rotation like that. So the tank are going out when the next one is inside.
Well, it shouldn't be needed.
Yeah, but if you can't see my stacks, then it's probably helpful.
You only need to put use focus target to see your stacks.
Yeah, set me as focus.
Yeah, I have.
Also, I can't see how many is DPSing the wrong targets and stuff.
Well, you can
I'll
see
try
it
and
by,
track that.
you can see it when their corruption goes up in spikes.
I heard someone is asking on which target switch. I think it was Moon.
They must have changed that, Jen, because incentive, or you get stacks when you're down there.
Oh, okay.
You didn't get that on the PTR.
Ah, okay.
You don't need to tank upstairs.
I will continue to call though, guys, which one you need to be on. But you'll catch on pretty quick. Most people already have.
I think it
Just
was
what-
Anya that was asking Beeves,
Yeah.
not Moon.
I think the
Okay,
main
okay.
problem at the moment is that because we're still not used to it, when people are coming back up after clearing the torment, if you just say, switch, people won't catch on to watch
Gotcha.
things.
I'll say Cross and Skull from now on then.
Yeah.
I hope it's clear then.
Guys, just one other thing. When we pull, remember though that if you're doing AoE attacks, so multi-shot for me or chain lightning for you chamois, be careful that when Belak does its squall spell, that you're not hitting both. Obviously, you'll stop hitting them when Atrican gets further away, but just keep an eye out for yourselves.
Yeah, I need to stop DPSing completely because everything on enhancement cleaves nowadays.
Turn your back on the other boss.
pull the X to the X marker. When after we had done the burst at start.
Yeah, I did start pulling him away once the other one started his painted fell scroll.
Yeah,
just before.
Try I don't know, 20 seconds before or something. I don't know when the timer is there.
And when they're grouped, it would be helpful if the Kate's X pointed that way as well, because I've managed to get a couple of melee hits off the boss.
But Soul and Incentive, keep talking together.
And I just skip going down, I just go down when I need to.
Yes. And preferably when a tank just went down.
Yeah, it's probably best if only the tanks say that when they're going up and down, because there's a little bit too much
chat
on.
Yeah, but it would be a good idea when healers, so they're not going down all at the same time.
Well, they know they won't if the tank says it's coming.
Staying away from the two
5,
marks. Purple
4,
and green.
3, 2.
Okay. You want to be on cross by now. You stay on that one. You'll be ready for the first change.
Beware.
And your pet is on the wrong one.
It's the
Ah, yeah, okay.
Okay, let's squall.
Run away, little girl.
Right, I'm going to need to come out in come down in
I'm
center.
coming down now.
Beware.
Change back to skull, people.
Kill Jenks.
Sorry, Jenks.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Yeah, see, when I'm down here, incentive stacks no longer on my focus.
You need a spell?
And switch
just
to
spell Ellie.
Down.
Everybody switch to skull, please.
Beef's going in.
Going up.
We need the tank inside.
He is in there.
Okay, everyone back onto skull and get your interrupts going again, people.
If you're high, go in after they switch.
Jen, you need to watch out because I need to climb.
Yeah, I know.
Did
Alright,
you
I'm
switch?
moving.
Can I go in?
Just have to move.
Soul is high.
I'm coming
out. Guys, get out.
Oh.
I need to go down.
Ranks of
Yeah.
Gwilt are not getting
Nope.
interrupted.
Beware.
Okay, and switch to skull to cross, people. Switch to cross. Now there's a lot of missed interrupts.
Yeah, I'm using it on cooldown, but I don't think that
Yeah, ditto
everyone
on
is getting that.
best too.
Think we interrupting at the same time.
Seems so, yeah.
And switch back to skull, people. Everybody back on skull.
3,
And I'm dead.
1.
That's no problem. I think most people-
Right, I think we're going to be able to swap every bone saw. Maybe.
Cool.
Or just before.
Beware.
The problem is I will still have my stacks when I come down. And if they are too high, if he evenly hits me a little thing, I will be very dead.
I have a soul stone.
I think we should go to the 3 tank strategy.
Broken, please.
I'm gonna pop a juice.
Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Right, I'm just going to swap out from DBM to Big Wigs. Give me a moment.
And the ultimate question is, did Jen turn on guild repairs?
Yep.
You feeling okay, dear?
It's not the turning on, it's just turning off, she forgets.
That's just the alcohol. That's proof that the alcohol's in her system by then.
Isn't it always in their system?
True.
What, did Jen become Scottish?
Oh, thank you, Anya.
Okay, now DBM's not downloading.
I do like Filth's advert.
You like Filth?
Their advert in trade is very clever.
Ah.
Which one? The one from Felt?
Don't worry, guys. Jen isn't deserting and leaving you all behind yet.
No, I don't like the name of the guild. But the advert's good.
Which guild?
Filth.
Light book in group in general. He just posted.
The week hour seems like it's the same as I had. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I just need to feed my cat while we're waiting for Sol, or she's gonna eat me.
I don't get it. Do what I do. Just give the cat treats and it buggers off.
She prefers food
Ah.
other than treats, so.
My one's already stuffed himself silly with food tonight. He's whinging because he wants treats.
God damn you, James.
Why?
Cousin just swore at me.
Did he? Don't know why he. I don't know why you think I might be smiling.
I'm blaming you.
Ah.
Blame Incentive. He was the one wanting a third tank.
No, Incentive, I'm assuming he's whining because he's going to go outside and beat the hell out of the stray cat we got wandering around our house. Saw it this morning with scars down its nose and a hole out of its head, where it's obviously been a massive punch-up. Just need to try and catch the thing now, take it to the vet.
So Incentive, how you want to do it with the third tank?
No, Beeves, I'm not changing it. No, they won't get confused. Not at the moment. It's the first day. I'm not changing it yet. Look at all the other adverts. It's too early. What, you think I'm going to put one out of however many bosses normal here? No, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, just mention that it's one of 10 mythic in Nighthold.
Well, obviously it is.
What?
If anybody asks, then I'll just tell them it is. Oh, fuck off, James.
Can I talk now, please?
Yeah.
Sorry, Incentive.
Okay, when the boss starts his bone sorting, the tank that is not upstairs taunts the boss. He makes sure, like if Etrigan is tanked on red, then he stands here doing nothing on the purple one. Taunts him when Bonesaw starts. The one tanking the big boss goes up. The one inside comes down. That makes sense.
No.
And just swap like that. Because the bone saw will automatically give the tank that's tanking him faster stacks.
Please use inside and outside. And this is outside.
Yeah, there's two tanks outside, one inside. And then tank one tanks him on the cross. When Bonesaw starts, the tank on cross goes up. And then the tank here on purple taunts the boss, so he's far enough away from Bonesaw to not get hit.
Okay, then that will be star, because purple is where people are getting out.
Okay.
Let's kill it.
Damn you! You hit the ready check just as it flicked over from 6 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Excuse.
Yeah. Damn you, cousin.
You do talk a load of bull, don't you?
Just
Watch
pop
it,
a
chicken
flat
boy.
scare, miserable shit.
Watch it, Mr. Irish.
Jenks is losing the will to live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Let me get out of people first.
I saw you. I was watching you.
Should we stop
Yeah,
DPSing Valak? Or
Yep. Because we need to keep the interrupts going on him at the moment. That was my mistake for last try. And switch now.
dispel, please? Thank you.
As soon as Squall is over, switch back to Skull.
Soul needs to come up.
And back to Skull now, people.
Inside.
Inside, okay.
Coming in.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Dinera, go inside.
Beware.
And it go close to
Dispel, please. Thank you.
And switch back to Cross, people. Everyone back to Cross.
Run away, little girl.
Can you move across a little bit further because my lance still, I think. Oh.
You have to
Thank
go
you.
up.
And back onto Skull, people.
4, 3,
Going down fast.
1.
Run away, little girl.
Go down. Go, Soul.
I can't now. My button's not there.
Beware.
Waves going in.
I have the same.
Need a
I've
spell?
got him.
Interrupt somebody.
Got him. Need a dispel.
Cool.
got
Still.
the clean strike.
And switch to Skull.
You mean X?
Oh, yeah, X. X, sorry. Damn it all. Look, it's two different symbols, I get confused.
Okay, I need to go down.
Beware.
And back onto Skull.
4,
Gonna get it right this time.
3, 2, 1.
Run away, little girls. Run away.
Dispel, please.
Right. I'm going down.
Interrupt somebody.
Beware.
Hold on.
I need to go
Maybe
down.
you can go up now.
Interrupt again.
Hold on.
Down.
I was just about to go up, so couldn't. Got him now.
No problem.
Need a dispel.
Please hold dispel, interrupt next.
Beware.
This boss is evading.
I'll do the next interrupt. Switch, boss. Switch.
Beware.
Keeps
And
going
switch
in
back.
Soon.
2, 1.
Run away, little girls.
Going up.
Guys, keep an eye on the interrupts. I've got to go into a get rid
I'll
of my
take the
stack.
next interrupt.
Thanks.
I'll do the one after. Beast will do the one after.
I've taunted him off you.
Coming back up now.
Go and clear my stack.
I can take the next one.
Call for it.
Yeah, please don't. We'll get to you when we can.
Okay, switch to cross, please. Would you bloody attack, you stupid pet? Okay, back onto Skull. Interrupts back in play, guys.
I do the first.
Okay.
Got the boss, Saul. You can go.
Right, I'm down now.
Knock him up.
Legendary incoming.
Yeah, best be my ring.
Shoulders.
Congratulations, everybody.
I need to kill the other one as well.
Yeah.
I can still say it.
Oh, congrats on the tier piece.
Nice relic.
Congrats.
Congrats on my artifact power.
Congrats on my golden artifact power. Nice one, Cassie.
Wait, don't tell me you got a legendary. Please don't tell me. No, he didn't.
No. He got the
You genuinely had me worried
tier.
there that he had just pulled that off.
And Jane got a trinket. Rats as well.
Congrats all.
Oh, what a surprise. Cousin got a tier piece. GM.
Well, you usually get that. I didn't even have 2 set in Nighthold when you got 4 piece.
You got your GM settings turned off for raid.
Cool.
Wrong direction, I think. That one is already there. Where are we going?
I'm taking the... I'm assuming it's got to be...
Out downstairs and then up on the...
Do you reckon it's Aspect's Reach? I'm not sure which way it is you go.
Yeah, saw some stairs over here.
And we can't mount.
I'm following Jenks. He knows where he's going. No, he doesn't.
I'm following Jen.
I'm going to follow DeCaustics now.
No, but is it some reach something? Then it's here, isn't it?
Well, the breach seems to be over that way somewhere.
Yeah, but the door is closed, so...
Okay, come on, Beeves. Jump where?
Over the edge? Oh, okay.
Ah, you mean the giant hole that's in the middle of the room, DeCaustics? That we all, of course, saw immediately.
Of course we saw this one. I was just going to tell you.
Yeah, I was just testing everybody, of course, to see if they actually knew where the hell they were going.
Lying shit.
You bet I am, but it sounds better than going, where the fuck did we go?
No swearing, please.
To be honest.
Why? Jen swears all the time.
Language.
I do not.
You
No,
tell
she-
people
Lying
fuck
fucker.
all the time.
Murlocs.
I'm guessing you just ignored that for effect.
What's that? What did I ignore this time?
I think he thought you meant it for me. No, I know he didn't. Since my AoE is non-existent, do you want to make me try and tank that extra mob?
You sure
That's
you'll be
one
there?
heroic.
Unless they changed it. Which would be unfortunate.
I'm not sure of anything.
Oh wait, isn't that extra mob only on heroic though?
I would guess so, but I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Which one are we talking about? The Murloc one?
No, the Naga.
I forgot the name.
Taskmaster.
Yes.
That one, yeah.
As far as I can see, Taskmaster is heroic.
By the way, Kurt. Is he here?
He's not here right now.
Shut up, Kurt.
Kurt, you need that neck that you got? The haste verse one? If not, I'll gladly take it off your hands.
Which?
You got a haste verse neck from the boss if you don't need it.
Did I?
And if no one else needs it, of course.
I think he took it from...
Hello and welcome back to Fat Boss TV.
Someone
Today
else?
we're having a look at another boss in the Tomb of
I got it from
Sargaras.
the
We're
Monarch
having a look at
Inquisition.
Hajatan
Yeah, the
on the
Monarch
7.2 PTR. Hello guys,
Oh,
so
what
this
Kurt
is
did.
the
There it is.
second or third
Yeah,
boss
Kurt
within
did.
the instance. It's another short single phase fight,
you
very
made
much
him go
like the
into
first
British.
boss. However, this encounter is all about killing Murlocs. Plenty of them spawn throughout the fight, and if you don't kill them, you'll become overwhelmed and you'll wipe very fast. On top of that, you have to constantly manage your debuffs to minimize the amount of damage that the raid takes, especially during bursty periods throughout the fight. There are also parts of this encounter that seem a bit broken, but we'll talk about that later on in the video. Now before we go into anything, just a quick heads up that of course this footage is from the PTR, so everything from the boss's visuals to its functionality might change by the time it hits live, although it usually doesn't change very much. Still, do expect a full guide once Tomb of Sargaras is released. With all of that aside, let's go straight into the encounter and let's talk about what the tanks need to deal with. Now each melee hit that the boss lands on you has a chance to leave a dot that lasts 30 seconds. This dot simply just stacks up and up and up, so you need to perform a tank swap just so these stacks don't get too high, and this typically was around the 4 to 6 stack mark. A slightly more interesting thing for the tanks to deal with is unchecked rage. As you may have noticed, the boss has an energy bar, and once this bar is completely full, he'll do a very short range frontal shockwave, which will deal damage split between every one hit. You want to make sure that you have as many people within this shockwave just to spread the damage. If you don't have enough people are flat out just going to be one shot. We found that having the entire raid stacked up behind the boss for the majority of the fight worked really well, and then as soon as the boss is about to reach 100% energy, we'd have our tank flip the boss towards the raid so everybody gets hit by the shockwave. Now the tanks also need to make sure that they pick up the Murlocs that spawn when the boss casts Commanding Roar. These Murlocs will spawn in 2 set locations around the room. You just want to make sure you drag all the Murlocs underneath the boss and AoE them down as soon as you possibly can. We found that tanking the boss next to one of these spawn locations was a good idea, as you could almost immediately start killing those ones off, whilst you have the hunters misdirect and maybe the off tank go out and just pick up the other Murlocs just to bring them underneath the boss. Now you do have 2 different types of Murloc, both of which will be applying a debuff called Drenched to the raid through their abilities. Now Drenched is just an endless dot which deals low ticking frost damage, but it also increases the frost damage you take by 5%. And because this does stack, you really want to minimize the amount of drench stacks you get at all costs, because otherwise towards the end of the fight you're going to be taking a hell of a lot of ticking damage. Now the Gladiator Murlocs have a frontal cleave that deals damage and applies drench to every one hit, and also each of their melee attacks will also apply a stack of drench to the target. So you want to make sure that these get to the tank as soon as possible and that they are faced away from the group so that only the tank gets the stack of drenched via the frontal cleave. After a while they'll also cast Driven Assault where they'll fixate a random player and chase them down. This does increase the amount of damage they do, but also reduces their movement speed, allowing you to easily kite them away and avoid getting melee hit. However, ideally these should really be dead before they even cast this ability. Now the second type of Murloc takes #1 DPS priority, and that's the Wave Mender. These have an interruptible cast called Watery Splash. This will just deal bursts of damage to a random player and apply a stack of Drenched. You want to make sure that this is interrupted, not just to reduce the amount of Drench stacks going out on the raid, but also to help group up the Murlocs underneath the boss quicker. But the reason they really need to die is because of Aqueous Burst. This is a 6-second debuff that will be applied to random players that doesn't do anything until it expires. Once it does, it will deal a burst of damage to that player and leave a pool of drenching waters on the ground. These pools are permanent, deal ticking damage, and apply drench to anyone who stands within them. So as soon as you get the debuff, you want to make sure that you move away from the boss and the rest of the raid and place the pool around the edges of the room. We found that it's important to try and leave the middle of the room clear, as the boss will drag in all of these pools Nithendra style when he casts Draw in. Once the pools reach the boss, he will absorb them and gain a stack of frigid blows. Each stack of this buff will empower one of his melee attacks, causing them to deal frost damage to the entire raid. After a stack is removed via a melee attack, a pool of drenching waters
Using AFKs. Are you going to pick the ads up first, incentive?
3, 2, 1.
We'll see how fast they go.
When do you want Lust?
Now. Get behind, boss.
Beware.
3, 2, 1.
See, if you were stacked behind boss, the ads would be there.
We get targeted by the
Right, and
sides.
swap.
4,
We need to run away.
2, 1.
Got him.
Who's...
Moving the boss slightly this way. Yeah, one of the watery guys you need to interrupt, otherwise he puts shit on the floor. Can't remember.
Close as a boss.
The wave men.
4,
Beware.
Torn off me.
2, 1.
Move, Jen.
Yeah, go.
Soak.
Keep that wave mender interrupted, people.
Need to share the damage. He's got 100%.
Got him.
Oh, there's too much bad in the middle.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Oh shit.
was too many stacks.
Who did you rest?
I forgot to turn him round. So I took the whole damage myself.
Yeah, but who got rest?
No, on this last one just now.
Who was rezzed?
So
I was
Oh,
rezzed
before.
first time
Oh,
round.
okay.
I rezzed, and then this one, I took the whole of the rage damage instead of turning him round. So that was my mistake.
yeah, this is not that easy to tank.
Also, guys, try to place the bad on the floor, like on the sides, so the middle can stay clear.
Yeah, but the green we have in the middle now wasn't from players.
Was from
It was.
Max casting.
It wasn't from you getting the circle under you.
But before it was like in the middle.
Yeah, it spawned a white swirl, and when you moved out of that, it stayed there, and then the green spawned.
Yeah.
Bunadin and K-Torn.
Yes.
Can we have a rotation for the cooldowns, please? Because we don't want to use them all at the same time. So perhaps Bunadin, you go first. Okay, and K-Torn, if you really seriously think that we need yours as well for one, then fine. But I think we should really try and save them.
Okay.
Because there would have been another one shortly had we lasted any longer, and none of us had a cooldown up.
Yeah, we were supposed to get the frigid blows. We need a cooldown for that.
Yes.
But
when they're about to end.
Yeah, as we're trying, if we're all about to die, I'd rather use a cooldown and then see a bit more of the fight than save it and die. All people die.
Yes, I agree with that, but we need to get into the habit and practice of using our cooldowns, in a rotation. Because if I'd have hit mine at the same time, then we'd have been dead a lot earlier.
Okay,
in case of emergency, we pop up all the spells. But if we can try, we're gonna try just rotation. Okay, the rotation. Okay. In emergency, we pop up all. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, okay. You're right.
On a side note, Carnatos is going to try to join soon. He just got back home from work.
Do he has a DPS back?
Not really. Soul has one.
Because I didn't see there was one already down incentive.
She got too much gold incentive.
Well, she's not actually paying for them.
One of them tables will just fit James because he's a greedy twat.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
3, 2, 1.
God damn it. I can't even get aggro on that wave, man.
4,
Beware.
2, 1.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Yeah, I can't even get aggro on them.
I think it just focused on one.
Yeah, that's my cooldown, Jen.
Okay.
Got him.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Can you get the tank's assist?
1.
New wave bender. Mender, whatever he is.
Got him. Right, I'm moving him back slightly. Right to the side. Raging coming, so I'm gonna have to turn him around in a sec.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Next raging coming in 6.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you got him.
Use second pot. Kurt, you have to move to the edge. To the side. Soak.
He still got stacks of his AoE.
Okay, can we move the boss again in a minute so we can all get behind him?
Yep, do it.
Okay.
Good job.
Yay!
Nicely done, everybody.
Good job, guys.
Nice one.
Seriously. Gold again.
Loot.
Give me loot this time.
Yay.
Nope, artifact power.
Absolutely nothing.
Does any druid want a tier piece?
Yeah, okay.
I said druid.
I heard the bits. Do you want to? I heard. Do you want a tier piece? I'll go with yes.
I think it will only be incentive.
I got the same from a coin.
Ah, so then you all got it.
I'm gonna have to port to Dalaran to upgrade my legendary.
Oh, you already got that many?
Yeah. I saved up the last
Lucky
3
bugger.
days World Quest chests.
Yeah, same. But I didn't do Mythic Plus last week, so I didn't get any from that one.
Ah.
So
Is
I'm
it just jumping?
Yeah.
They go around the edge
water.
of the platform.
It's steep. Well, I don't know if we need to go down here.
Yeah, hopefully we need to. If we have it.
Any other rolls for that relic?
No,
What relic?
nothing.
Which relic?
Cuz was after it, wasn't it? The leering eye.
Yeah. You don't need it, Froden.
It doesn't give me what I need. I need metal officers off it. It busts a crap stat. All's done.
Link it again so I can see which one it was, bud.
I won it.
Ah, good girl.
No, she didn't, because cousin beat her.
Whoops. What
No, I'm
happened now? Oh dear.
Why am I killing Moon?
I don't know, because I turned into something. I clicked something.
Can't
So
take
look,
her
we've already had the discussion today about not clicking on shiny things.
Yeah, but it was...
She turned into Gul'dan.
Yeah, it was super cool. Yeah, yeah, but it's on the wall. Just click it and see what happens.
Where is it?
It doesn't. It won't happen now. She used it. I think at some point we have to re-see it.
I'm sorry. I messed up.
Oh, Mooney.
I know, I'm spoiled everything.
There seems to be a world boss in here.
Yeah, we'll get him in a bit when we go up after the next boss. I think we backtrack and go up the staircase.
That
Then
one
we get
is
the world
annoying.
boss.
Grats.
Oh, nice. And 970. Very nice.
Right, Sally.
Donkey donkey.
Where did you get it from?
I just
A
upgraded
Murloc?
it.
I love that everyone's going back to see if there's a
You
mod
just
to
what?
do.
Upgraded it.
Thank you.
Oh, that.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Can you summon me whenever you're ready?
What happens if we're never ready?
Oh well, I'll dance in the Elran.
You might be too good for us now.
Let's wait to summon him then.
Only 9 legendaries left to upgrade.
Are we not going left?
Straight down the path to get to the next boss. Left will take us up to the next wing, or the next set of bosses, and the
World boss.
world boss. Thank you. So you knew what I was trying to say.
Let's clear the trash anyway.
But down here it should be a mistress, Sazir, whatever her name is.
Sazine.
I know there's one that I didn't see the video after. So I don't know which one.
Oh, shoo!
All facts.
Oh, come on, it was worth doing just to get somebody.
Jen.
Yeah, would be a summoning, so take some.
Oh, that's different then. I'll come and help.
Jen.
And you're still pulling.
What?
Now. Did
No,
you
not-
see the trade chat? Someone wrote this. Someone wrote that, right? And another person answered, the best spec is better English. Thanks for the summon.
Oh, how cruel.
We did get it all.
I did edit.
Thanks for putting that electric shock on top of me. Come on, I'm stunned.
Nothing much has changed since my little break here. Jenks is dead, of course.
Oh, that is really mean.
Brutal.
So
But
why is
sadly,
that
it's true as well.
why is that more mean than what you guys say to Jen all the time?
So what we say to Jen is usually accurate.
Zessie.
Ah, this boss.
Thank you, Anya.
Jen always tells us to fuck off. That's not nice either.
No.
Yeah, but that's the alcohol speaking.
True.
The lack of alcohol speaking.
I think you should be glad that that is just fuck off and nothing worse.
Jen doesn't use worse words.
Wanna bet?
No, she banned them.
So
Anyway,
this
we
is
all
one of
know
those-
that Jenks doesn't speak because he's a girl.
Hello and welcome back to Fat Boss TV. Today we're having a look at...
Jen has a bad influence on me. I even reported someone for calling me the C word.
Another boss
Yeah,
from
but
the
I think
7.2
Jenks'
PTR.
voice is a little
Having
bit
looked
like
at the
Michael
Mistress
Jackson.
Sazine encounter in the Tomb of Sargeras.
You reported
So
Soul.
this three-phase encounter
No,
is
someone.
the water level of Tomb of Sargeras.
Oh.
However, unlike other water-themed
Well, what's wrong
zones and
with that?
levels
So
that
you
you've seen in
should.
other
It's a
games,
horrible
it
word.
doesn't actually suck.
Okay.
I haven't watched a bit for this this boss.
balls. It's a simple encounter where primarily you just need to avoid lethal mechanics while just killing off ads. That said, it's still a fight where you can very quickly wipe if things aren't done correctly. Now before we jump into anything, just as a reminder, this is footage from the PTR, so things may change before this boss finally reaches live servers next week, although typically they usually don't change too much. But of course do expect a full Fat Boss guide when this boss is released next week. Also to note, while we were testing this boss, it was in fact bugged, which made progressing towards the later phases rather difficult, which means we only have footage for certain phases. However, we will go over all the phases regardless, and hopefully give you some useful information about them. Now before we jump into phase 1, let's talk about all the abilities that are in every single phase. So the Mistress will mark the tank with Burden of Pain. This minute-long debuff which deals some shadow damage every second, causes the tank to mirror all physical damage taken to the rest of the raid. So whilst this debuff is active, the tank should avoid as much physical damage as possible. The other tank needs to taunt whilst the Burden of Pain is up, and the tanks will just need to keep switching who has the boss each time this ability is cast. Now whilst the tank does have the Burden of Pain, he should be picking up the 3 Abyss Stalker eels that spawn when she casts from the Abyss. These guys deal shadow damage with each of their melee attacks rather than fills that spawn when she casts from the Abyss. Now while
Beware. Beware.
And I said no, please.
Then you said it too late.
You got her?
Jin, can you try to drag me?
Beware. Beware.
No, won't work.
No, I can't do it.
Tornadoes.
Kill the eel. Too late.
Are we talking the big purple swirly things?
Only if we run out of room.
Okay.
Describe
Kill the eels.
Duke City, boys.
Big fish coming.
Jesus.
Alrighty then.
So when you get sucked to one side, go into the oily patches on the floor, get a stack of the ink, and then get closer to the big whale so he takes that stack off you. When he gets these 3 stacks, he goes away. And stops sucking. I was trying to do that, but I was too slow.
Yeah, boss also hit me while I had burden of pain on as well.
Yeah, I was not focusing enough.
Break now.
Okay. See you in a few.
Thank you.
It's
Okay.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
The tank does have the burden of pain, he should be picking up complete balls. It's a simple encounter where primarily you just need to avoid lethal mechanics while just killing off adds. That said, it's still a fight where you can very quickly wipe if things aren't done correctly. Now before we jump into anything, just as a reminder, this is footage from the PTR, so things may change before this boss finally reaches live servers next week, although typically they usually don't change too much. But of course, do expect a full Fat Boss guide when this boss is released next week. Also to note, while we were testing this boss, it was in fact bugged, which made progressing towards the later phases rather difficult, which means we only have footage for certain phases. However, we will go over all the phases regardless, and hopefully give you some useful information about them. Now before we jump into phase 1, let's talk about all the abilities that are in every single phase. So the mistress will mark the tank with Burden of Pain. This minute-long debuff, which deals some shadow damage every second, causes the tank to mirror all physical damage taken to the rest of the raid. So whilst this debuff is active, the tank should avoid as much physical damage as possible. The other tank needs to taunt whilst the Burden of Pain is up, and the tanks will just need to keep switching who has the boss each time this ability is cast. Now whilst the tank does have the Burden of Pain, he should be picking up the 3 Abyss Stalker eels that spawn when she casts from the Abyss. These guys deal shadow damage with each of their melee attacks rather than physical, so the Burden of Pain will not be triggered from their attacks. Apart from melee hit, they will occasionally cast Dark Depths, which will cause them to shadow step to a random player and hit them with a 4-second dart. This is more annoying than anything else, as they just kind of will be spread apart and won't die as quickly. However, this is interruptible and the adds can be stunned, so doing these sort of things will help keep them under control. When the Abyss Eels do die, they leave goo on the ground, and this goo deals ticking damage and reduces the hit chance of anyone who stands within it, so don't stand within the goo. This goo is actually used to counter some of the other mechanics later on in the fight, but we'll talk about that when we get there. The last ability that she'll be casting in all 3 of her phases is Hydra Shot. When she casts this, she'll mark a few players in the raid and send a bolt towards each of them after 6 seconds. These bolts deal a ton of damage, but this damage is split between all players hit by the bolt. Now you cannot have all of the marked targets stack up and have everyone soak all of the hits at once, as the bolts leave a 6-second dot on players, and if players have more than 2 stacks of this dot, they'll be stunned for 4 seconds. So in order to avoid the stun, marked players need to spread out around the boss, whilst the rest of the raid helps spread the damage by standing in the bolt's path. To add, the Burden of Pain tank really shouldn't help split this damage because it's physical, which will just cause it to be mirrored to everyone else in the raid and everyone will take a ton more damage, so the Burden of Pain tank should not get involved in this ability. With all of that out of the way, let's have a look at each phase individually, starting off with phase 1. So during phase 1 you need to deal with slicing tornadoes that travel across the platform in a wall formation on a timer. If you're hit by one of these tornadoes, you'll receive a really nasty physical damage dot that lasts 20 seconds. The only way that you can avoid these wall of tornadoes is by making sure that the Eel Abyss Stalker ads have died beforehand. The goo that they spawn on the ground when they die, if that contacts tornadoes, it will either cause them to slow down or it will just cause them to flat out despawn. And as soon as that gap has been created, the raid can simply just squeeze through without getting hit. Now the goo only lasts for roughly 20 seconds or so it's important that you don't kill the eels too early, otherwise you're not going to have any goo up for when the tornadoes finally do spawn. Also to deal with in this phase is consuming hunger debuffs. This debuff will be applied to multiple people in the raid and will deal ticking physical damage. Forever, the debuff just simply has an endless duration. The only way to remove this debuff is by standing in the Thundering Shock jellyfish patches that spawn every now and then. When you're hit by the jellyfish patch, you'll be stunned for 4 seconds, however this effect is dispellable. Your debuff will be removed, but you'll also spawn a Murloc ad. These Murlocs will also spawn a Murloc. You'll be stunned for 4 seconds, however this effect is dispellable. Your debuff will be removed, but you'll also spawn a consuming hunger debuffs. This debuff will be applied to multiple people in the raid and will deal ticking physical damage. Forever, the debuff just simply has an endless duration. The only way to remove this debuff is by standing in the Thundering Shock jellyfish patches that spawn every now and then. When you're hit by the jellyfish patch, you'll be stunned for 4 seconds, however this effect is dispellable. Your debuff will be removed, but you'll also spawn a Murloc ad. These Murlocs that will spawn will just spam cast Water Blast at nearby random players. This Murloc can be stunned and interrupted, and it's very important that you do so because it does do quite a lot of damage. These Murlocs while we were testing had very little health, so providing the majority of your raid swaps to kill them off, they're a non-issue. Now once Mr. Shazine reaches 70% health, phase 2 will start. However, we didn't get that far on heroic. What was happening was that whilst you have the consuming hunger, the Murloc is phase 2 will start. However, we didn't get that far on heroic. What was happening was that whilst you have the consuming hunger, the Murloc is kind of on your back and you're shocking it off. That's like the kind of flavor of the spell. The Murloc isn't actually supposed to be active during this time. He's just there as a visual. However, on our heroic tests, the Murlocs were active on the back of players, and the healers will be gaining healing aggro from them, meaning that our healers would just be constantly spammed with water blasts until they died, and there was nothing we could do to stop it because the jellyfish weren't coming in frequently enough, so yeah, we're kind of screwed, unfortunately. Yeah. However, thanks to the magic of animation, we can show you what the rest of the fight looks like. So during phase 2, the boss loses access to the slicing tornadoes, consuming hunger, and thundering shock jellyfish. Because of this, the abyss stalkers can just be killed off whenever, as the patches are not used to counter any of the abilities. You just want to get rid of them as soon as possible. You also want to make sure that you have no consuming hunger debuffs going into phase 2, as you're not going to be able to remove them because the jellyfish no longer spawn. Now during this phase, the boss will be summoning 3 different sea creatures. When she casts Cool Velius, a large line of bubbling water will spawn across the encounter area. Moments later, a giant fish will jump across that line, dealing huge damage and knocking back anyone who has stood within the bubbling water. You do have a couple of seconds to avoid getting slapped in the face by the fish, just make sure that you react quickly and don't get caught out. When she cast Summon Osunet, a bunch of befouling ink patches will spawn around the room. If a player runs into these patches, they will absorb it, gaining a 10-second debuff which deals ticking damage and slows them. You do want to avoid soaking any of these ink patches, especially if a cool Velius fish is about to come in, as the slow will make it difficult to dodge the ability. That being said, you do need to use this ink when the boss casts Beckon Sarukel. This will cause a giant whale to spawn at the side of the encounter area, which will begin to pull in all players. This deals ticking damage to the entire raid, and if anyone gets within 15 yards of the whale's mouth, they'll instantly die. The only way to get the whale to go away is by running next to him with the ink debuff. When you do this, the whale will suck the ink off of you, and once it's done this 3 times, it will leave the encounter area until the ability is cast again. So during this phase, you just need to dodge a big ass fish, dodge the ink patches, and then eat the ink patches whenever the boss casts the big whaley dude. Bit of a weird phase, really.
Yeah, it is a little bit odd.
When the boss reaches 30% health, phase 3 will begin. Now, phase 3 is actually just a mixture of mechanics from phase 1 and phase 2. You have the slicing tornadoes from phase 1. These need to be dealt with the exact same way. Make sure you kill the ads, the blobs will land on the ground. The tornadoes will hit the blobs and you can go through the gap. Interestingly, you'll still have the consuming hunger, however you no longer have the jellyfish to remove the debuff, and this sort of acts as the enrage in this phase. As more players start to get this debuff, it's going to become more and more difficult to out-heal it. And from phase 2 you have Cool Velius, which is the big fish that flies across the room over the top of all the bubbles, as well as all the ink patches that spawn, but fortunately enough you don't have to deal with the big whale dude. But on top of everything I just listed, of course, you still have the burden of pain to deal with your tanks, you have the Abyss Stalkers that still need to die, and you have the Hider Shot. So there's all these mechanics going on at the exact same time, as well as some sort of pseudo-enrage where the healers, eventually not being able to out-heal the consuming hunger anymore. So it's a pretty nuts last phase.
Yeah, you might even want to be saving Bloodlust for this phase just to make sure you can get through it as soon as possible, because although you don't have to deal with the whale anymore as well, the befouling ink patches are just going to be like ramping up and up and up, limiting the space that you have, and if you're trying to dodge a fish and then you're slowed by the ink patches, it's going to be a mess. But also it's going to be hilarious, because I think that's what this fight is. It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Like, the theme of this fight is absolutely amazing, with like the giant whale at the side and people getting eaten by it, and you got to kind of make it run away by eating ink. It's like, it's just so strange, and it's great because normally most fights it's all very serious and it's just like, oh yes, here's another Legion pillar you have to hide behind, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay. But this one they went a bit nutty, you're under the sea, you're having a laugh, you have Murlocs on your back and you're killing some Naga sea witch lady. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the theme of the fight. It's just very unfortunate that the bug did happen during heroic testing.
Yeah.
It was removed, like the bug was fixed by the time we got to mythic testing, but mythic testing had a whole host of other problems that we needed.
Before we
Where's my fucking bookmarks gone?
I can't use that item yet.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorting it.